Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to TTVNEWS with some last day events in our province, and here are our stories today. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of May the 14th of 2021, Mr. Lê Nguyen and Mr. Trong Nam, Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, co-chaired the National Online Conference on promoting the consumption of agricultural products in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic. At the tenant connecting points, Mr. Trong Dien, Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee, attended the conference.
In the first 4 months of 2021, the country's rice production is estimated at more than 11.9 million tons. In the field of husbandry, livestock and poultry gradually recover and develop. The pig herd increased by 11.1%. The poultry herd increased by 8.3%. The output of fishing is more than 1.2 million tons. Aquaculture is estimated at nearly 1.3 million tons. Due to many outbreaks of the COVID-19 epidemic, which has adversely affected the production and consumption of agricultural products, the prices of some key vegetables and fruits have dropped, affecting production efficiency, limiting production investment in the next period. Transport of agricultural products was interrupted at times and in some places, causing congestion of agricultural products and a sharp drop in prices. In the coming time, rice exports will continue to increase due to the high demand in the world market. The sale of consuming some key fruits will be under pressure due to the epidemic. Functional forces and localities need to develop many ready-made plans. Attending the conference, leaders of provinces and cities also highlighted the current situation of domestic consumption and export of agricultural products in each locality, sharing difficulties and measures to remove obstacles in the new situation. Speaking at the end of the conference, Deputy Minister Trong Nam requested ministries, sectors, and localities to continue effectively implementing the government's dual goals of both disease prevention and economic development, sticking to the production program for each season, not letting agricultural products stagnate, and ensuring food safety. In localities, associations need to coordinate with functional units to promptly provide information on the field of agricultural product production and consumption, coordinate to remove difficulties and create conditions for local economic development.
And also in the morning of May the 14th, Mr. Nguyen, Deputy Secretary Provincial Party Committee, Chairman Provincial People's Committee, and Chairman of Election Commission of Ninh Province, chaired the meeting of Election Commission of Ninh Province to collect opinions on the organization and implementation of epidemic prevention and control plans on election day. Leaders of the Department of Health and CDC reported to Provincial Election Commission a plan to ensure the health care against COVID-19 pandemic for the election. Therefore, situations mentioned in the specific epidemic effectively response plans. Accordingly, the Department of Health has issued guidelines to help localities proactively and effectively respond to COVID-19 pandemic situations during the implementation of election activities to ensure the maintenance of operations, joint actions, and fulfill the tasks of the entire system from central to local levels. Mr. Nguyen, Vice Chairman Provincial People's Committee of the Ninh Province, emphasized the need to pay special attention to the situation that occur at the fixed voting areas and the situation here blockage of one neighborhood or many hamlets required when detecting people suspected of being infected with the SARS-CoV-2 virus. In case, one must strictly follow the 5Ks and Vietnamese principles. Concluding at the meeting, Mr. Nguyen, Deputy Secretary Provincial Party Committee, Chairman Provincial People's Committee, and Chairman Pre-Election Commission of the Ninh Province directed assign localities to organize for voters to declare their house status as self-governing resident groups and completed 1 day before the election day. On the basis of the consensus of the delegates attending the meeting, the health sector quickly completed the epidemic prevention plan, organized instruction for localities and voting areas. The Chairman Provincial Election Commission suggested that the Election Commission continued to promote election campaigning in a situation of focusing on campaigning and preparing for election while preventing and controlling the COVID-19 pandemic. District towns and the city shall comply with regulations and guidelines to ensure health care for the election, develop plans suitable for the specific situation to each locality, putting high vigilance not to be negligent, subjective, and ready to prevent and combat COVID-19 pandemic in all situations and on activities.
At the meeting with voters and campaign for the election of candidates for the 15th National Assembly, the constituency number 1 is the communes of An Bình, Thanh Điền, Thái Bình, Châu Thành district. In the morning of May 14, voters were especially interested in social welfare and environmental protection policies. Voters want the 15 National Assembly deputies to pay more attention to ensuring social welfare in rural areas, especially for the poor, the lonely orphans, who are very vulnerable to get a better life. At the same time, it is necessary to pay attention to environmental issues, especially the land environment. There must be regulations to strictly handle organizations and individuals that have acts of illegal land exploitation or overexploitation in accordance with regulations. Besides, voters in Thanh Điền commune also suggested that the candidates pay more attention to the issue of ensuring food safety and hygiene, especially green vegetables, to protect people's health, need to pay more attention to farmers' life, support farmers to assess supportive policies, as well as apply science and technology to farming so that farmers can have a good harvest.
And on the occasion of his business trip to Thanh Province, Mr. Nguyen Nghia, Secretary Party Central Committee, head of the Party Central Committee's Commission for Communication and Education, visited officials and soldiers of Ninh Border Station in Ninh Commune, Châu Thành District. Joining the delegation, there was also Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái, Standing Deputy Secretary, Provincial Party Committee, and leaders of Châu Thành District. At the conference, the Party's Central Committee's Commission for Communication and Education, Nguyen Nghia, highly appreciated the results that Ninh Border officials and soldiers have achieved in maintaining border security as well as in prevention work against the COVID-19 pandemic recently. The Secretary Party Central Committee Nguyen Nghia also asked Ninh Border Station, besides maintaining political security in border area, to proactively grasp the situation and organize checkpoints regularly patrolling and controlling border areas, strictly implement the documents of the party, state and localities in prevention of COVID-19 pandemic according to the motto 4 on the spot. The unit coordinated with forces to organize border prevention and control to prevent illegal entries and disease activities. On this occasion, the head of Party Central Committee's Commissions for Communication and Education offered gifts to encourage the officials and soldiers of Ninh Border Station, wishing all officials and soldiers of Ninh Border Station to good health and excellently completing the task assigned by the party, state, and the people. And ladies and gentlemen, in order to review the effectiveness and proposed election learned from the live events in the near future, in the morning of May the 13th, TayNinhTV radio and television station held a summary to propaganda and live broadcast of the first Padang Mountain Marathon in Thanh Province in 2021. With the theme Green Steps, the first Padang Mountain Marathon in Thanh Province in 2021 took place on April the 24 and 25 of 2021. This is the first amateur race of Thanh Province open up to on objects and on peoples in the territory of Vietnam. TayNinhTV radio and television station is a media sponsor updating and posting information, side events, live broadcasting the progress of the tournament on one of the station's broadcasting platforms. And this is also the first time that TayNinhTV radio and television station successfully conducted a large-scale sporting event live on broadcasting platforms with a large number of specialized wireless equipment systems, making the pro establishment and development of TTV11 mark. And Mr. Vũ Xuân Trường, director of TayNinhTV radio and television station, recognized and highly appreciated the efforts and the determination of the production team in completing the work at the tournament. At the same time, he emphasized that through this marathon, the capacity of the staff has been improved, confident to prepare for the work of reporting the live from the scenes of live broadcast in the 15th National Assembly election and delegates of the People Council at all levels for the term of 2021 to 2026, as well as major events of the province in the near future. On this occasion, TayNinhTV radio and television station also rewarded excellent collectives and individuals in the propaganda and live broadcast of the first Padang Mountain Marathon in Thanh Province. And ladies and gentlemen, recently candidates for the 15th National Assembly and candidates for the People Council at all levels for the term of 2021 to 2026 in the Ninh province have met and contacted voters to report on the action program when elected. Voters expressed confidence in the candidates' action plan as well as asserted their responsibility for the ballot. Voters believe that when the candidates affirm that they will always strive and try to truly deserve to be representative for the mastery of the people of the province in particular, and the people of the whole country and the government and the higher state in general. And most voters also believe that the candidates will also be close to the grassroots, close and associated with the people, spend lots of time interacting with voters to promptly grasp the thoughts and aspirations of the voters, together with the community, working with voters in building the homeland as well as the country. And for that belief, voters were prepared to choose their representatives from among the official candidates. Elected candidates have to bring their whole heart to serve the people in socio-economic development and national defense and security also, especially in the time when we are strengthening the fight against the current COVID-19 pandemic, how to achieve the good results. I want to elect a representative who knows how to take care of the people, and mainly people living standards are improving day by day. Now that people's living standards are better economically, it will require more spiritually. Yung district house development in the past is very good, but it is not enough to be a cultural and economic center of the district. And as a voter, I want a better town development. On May the 23rd of 2021, voters in the Ninh province, together with the voters across the country of Vietnam, went to elect deputies to the 15th National Assembly and the People Council at all levels for the term of 2021 to 2026. It can be said that it is an important political event of the country. Its voters vote is not only the election of his representative, but also mark his identifiers in the party and state in the construction and development of a rich, beautiful, and civilized homeland. And that's all for TTV News today. Thank you for joining us and see you more next time.